Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Michelle Lane, and I wanted to come live today and just share a message that's been kind of brewing this week. And then I'm looking at the energy of today, the influence of the contract of the Queen of Clubs, and there's this wisdom that wants to be nurtured. The eight energy today wants to open up this momentum, this commitment to what we say that we want. And what's been brewing this week, which is relevant to this conversation, is conversations with clients around how do we know when something is an excuse that we're telling ourselves, or we're being kind and giving ourselves grace. And today's conversation is kind of in essence of that feeling. When do we know that we're giving ourselves excuses, especially when it comes to our health, right? Like taking care of our health in a certain way or eating foods that we believe are good or bad. When it comes to those actions and those things in our lives, like where are we wanting to get unstuck? Where are we feeling like we're stuck in a rut? Where is that stagnant energy? So today that might be showing up in your home, that could be showing up in your self care, that could be showing up in your everyday routine. And what's interesting about this is that stagnant energy holds us into this relationship with being stuck in a rut. So today's energy really wants to move forward in momentum. So it's asking us to take a look at those places that we feel like we're out of control, we've lost control in life, we're at the whim of life circumstances, that for whatever reason, something special in our circumstance that keeps us from what we want. And it's inviting us to take a look at those patterns. And so let's open up that conversation of excuses. It's asking us to take a look where we're limiting ourselves and keeping ourselves in the sabotaging cycle. Good morning, Joe. Thanks for being here. And really allowing ourselves to fall back into loop, back into prey of taking that next inspired action because maybe it makes us uncomfortable or maybe we feel like we're going to fail at it. So when we look at the excuses, what is keeping us feeling like we're out of control? Because the eight is going to help us see that really intensely. And it's also going to want to have us shift that perspective. So, what is the small thing that you can do today where you might be feeling trapped? Where you can take another approach or clean up your space or make a plan for success or do that one next best thing that's going to land you in to the commitment that you said that you wanted. So then the excuses don't even apply. Are you noticing there's a behavior that you're not receiving the result that you're wanting from that behavior? Maybe today is a great opportunity for you to just do it differently. Don't fall prey to it. Choose something different. Go for a walk. Feel into your heart space. Ask what it is that your body's wanting. It's not going to be chocolate. I mean, that's going to be the mind going off into the excuses. But it's also inviting us into this new perception of, well, even if my mind at first says chocolate, what's really going on? What will that chocolate solve? Where is there an emotion that's happening in my body right now that's amping up this feeling that I'm out of control? And can I just be with it for just a second? Can I acknowledge that it's there? And then can I truly check in, invite my mind into my heart and connect? I love putting my hand on my heart. It like brings instant coherence between the mind and the body. And then checking in, what is it? What is it that's stressing me out? What is it that's overwhelming me? What is it that's creating this sense that I'm out of control? And you listen for the whisper that will guide you to that next best step. And so often it's something so simple. Maybe it's just drinking more water. Maybe it's getting up and moving and not habitually walking to the pantry or the kitchen or to the refrigerator to check first, like what's happening in the refrigerator. Do you guys ever do that? And so no matter where that's at today, I'm using health as an example, but maybe it's in your space. Where are you feeling trapped and confined? Where are you feeling like you want a little more sense of freedom? Where are you wanting to open up that movement to feel the momentum of things going in the direction that you want instead of the momentum of it keep coming in the direction that you don't? So, where are your thoughts? Are your thoughts focusing on what I don't want or what I do? Today, with that wisdom of the queen, it's asking us to nurture those thoughts, be mindful of what's happening in our mind, and be willing to try something a little bit different to move us in the momentum towards what we're wanting more of. And so when I pulled a card today, actually, this one's been sitting here for a little bit of time. It's Unstick the Stuck. And it talks about that very thing, being in the right place at the right time, really honoring the divine timing cycle of, wherever you are right now in this beautiful cycle. We teach this in the brain game. Are you in awareness? Are you in acceptance? Have you taken the responsibility that you're not at the whim, that you can make another choice? Are you activating new inspired action from that place? And can you feel the momentum of those actions and check in? Is this the direction I want to head? Or is this going in the opposite direction? What can I do in this moment to make that other choice and pull myself back into alignment so I can be looking back on that transformation and understanding a little bit deeper the piece that led me either back into loop in my past or that I interrupted it and moved it through. So we talk about this in Mastering the Brain Game, and we walk through these examples in our life so we can understand those perceptions that much deeper. And so this is also saying, where's the feeling of urgency? Is there that frustration? Is that time ticking? Like, it's got to be now. It's got to be, how do I do it? How do I get there? And it's asking us to come back into our body and check in with where we're going next. So often the mind, when it's not in coherence with the heart, we're relying on the mind to make the decision. We're relying on, or just the heart, and we're out of alignment in what they want when we come together and they move us toward the direction of the goal of um, the outcome without expectation of outcome. Right? It's leaning into that next step without having to know how it all turns out. Because when we fall prey to the mind having to know how it all turns out, then the mind is pre-deciding for us what is or isn't going to work. And it's going to base that off of the perceptions and experiences of what has happened before in our life. So if we want a different result, we have to take a new action. We have to be willing to understand what's happening in our mind, recognize the patterns that are present, still love that for showing up, and not treating the mind as it's like the separate enemy. The thinking can be in separation, but we can bring it back into unity. And then we can have the clarity in what is that next best step. And so often it's such a kind action towards ourselves, getting untrapped, that feeling of being untrapped. It may be taking a walk. It may be changing my schedule today. Maybe it's giving myself 15 minutes when no one else needs anything from me so I can regroup and reset and then take that next step and then come back in. So it's about checking in with our bodies, being willing to build that trust of listening to that wisdom that we all have. And then taking into consideration what feels like it's moving out of my control and where can I bring myself back into alignment. At the end of this reading, it's so beautiful. It says, your body's not trapping you. Your family's not trapping you. Your luck is not trapping you. Your life circumstances are not trapping you. What excuses are you holding on to? And what is it that's got you feeling stuck? Those are such good questions to check in. Where do I think that I'm stuck? And when we can receive the wisdom of the slowing down to check in, we can make another choice in what we want more. Well, what can I do to get myself out of that? There's no magic blue pill. There's no magic thing outside of us that's going to create that answer. The magic of the wisdom is already in you. And when can we slow down today when the momentum feels like it's out of control, when things are going way too fast, and bring back in that energy to check in and love ourselves that much more and be willing to take that action out of the nurturing, out of following the wisdom and seeing what new results come from that. So I hope you have a beautiful day. Joe says, learning this day by day, happy going on the next step with knowing the uncertainty. You don't have to know the answer. You just have to be willing. Am I willing to do something different today? Am I willing to try something new so I can see the evidence and feedback from the universe towards that change? And can I do it again and again and trust that the stagnant energy is also something that I'm falling victim to and that I can change that. I can shift it by how I'd rather feel and honoring those feeling states, but allowing myself to actually feel into some more peaceful emotions, easeful emotions, happy, joy. What's going to bring that into my existence today? 1% more when I don't fall prey to the other powerless feelings that I can sometimes wake up with. We can all do that. We can all wake up and feed into the stress, feed into the anxiety. Anxiety wants to turn into creation. It wants to turn into love, something we love and can't wait to do in our life. And it's up to us to do it. So I hope you have a beautiful day. Let me know how this message lands with you. And I will talk to you again next week. Bye for now.